Okay, here we are, Parsha, Teizei. We're in Teizei, we're in Elul. This is going to be also preparation for Rosh HaShanna, which is just around the corner. It's going so fast. And I want to start off. The Parsha, Teizei le'milchama al oivecha, right? So it starts off with when you go out to milchama. What's this Teizei? Going out, there's a difference between going out. I don't know, like that's just in itself interest. Teizei. You're going out somewhere, and where are you going to? Milchama. How is it? Al oivecha. Not im, not with, not keneged, maybe against, but al with an ayin, al as in above your enemies. Right? Hashem's going to give them into your hands, and then you're going to you're going to capture someone in captivity, right? U'aita b'shviya eshet yafat Torah, and you're going to see this beautiful woman who's basically she's been delivered into your hands. The enemy's been delivered into her hands. She's been delivered into her hands, and this woman who's beautiful. And then there's this whole thing that you are going to desire her, and there's a whole process. You want to take her as your wife? Okay, first there's a couple things you have to do. You take her into your house, and you're going to shave her head, right? Her nails, you let her grow out her nails. And then it says that she's going to put on her, like, basically a sackcloth. She's going to remove her very beautiful garments that Rashi brings out, were these gorgeous garments that were like to entice the enemy. She's going to remove that. And there she is, this woman who's got a shaven head, long nails, doesn't have beautiful clothing on. And she gets 30 days where she's mourning her family, maybe mourning her gods, right? For a whole entire. And then after that whole month, okay, then she's permitted to you to take as a wife. And not only, but if you don't want her as a wife, then you can't sell her or abuse her, God forbid. Like, it's a lot of restrictions and restraints in a situation that is like, you would think would be so normal. Like, here I am, and I'm stressed out, and the Chagim are coming, and I'm stressed out for so many things. And one person might say, okay, Magiali, I can yell a little bit, or I can explode a little bit, or I'm so tired, or like, I get it, it's okay. Like, and the Torah says, wait a minute, while that is true, it's not true. It's holding us to very high expectations, really. It's saying, but how in order to do this? Al oivecha, you have to go above something. You have to even go above your own self. So our tzaddikim tell us, so what is this Teizei le'milchama? Who's this milchama against? It gets against your yetzer hara. Yetzer as in to create ra. Something, yes, not good, something unstable. The things in your life that are just so challenging and so hard and so difficult, it's the feelings of lack of self-worth. It's talking to yourself in ways that are going to bring you down more. Kadosh Baruch Hu is telling us, go to war with this. But mind you, Rashi brings that it's milchama reshut, that it's actually something that you yourself are instigating. You know, you're allowed to do this, but it's not something you're obligated to do. You're going to go to battle against this, and how are you going to hold these things captive that want to destroy you or entice you? Is you have to go above it. So the Rebbe brings down, the Rebbe brings down something beautiful that I heard. That also this Teizei is, what is this like? Where are you going from? Where are you going out to? That's the neshama that's coming into this world. So like really, I don't know. It's overwhelming to think that this world is one of a battlefield. Like I came into this world to do battles, Hashem. Like that's why you created this whole world in order to do battles, that I have to battle all the time. And what kind of battlings am I battling, and why? And we know that the neshama is up in Shemaim, and before it comes into this world, it looks at the whole entire, all the options. And it says, okay, Hashem, I understand that I have a tafkid, I have a mission, I have a purpose. And the only way to actualize this, if I go into that world and do certain things that only the body can do. And it says, okay, let me look at all these people. Or I don't know, maybe it also says, I don't know, objects, or I don't know, but it says, how can I actualize my potential? And then it sees a certain body at a certain time. Rav Hirsch brings down that you are destined. You chose, it's exactly perfect, tailored towards you, all the tests you have in your life. Your body, your family, the city you were born into, the culture you were born into, the circumstances, the epoch, the decade, everything, the error. It is something that actually your neshama chose. Reshut, not chayav. It says, I want to actualize my potential. I'm coming into this world, and I'm coming into that person, that body, that tafkid. And how in the world are we supposed to handle all the challenges in our lives? Well, al oivecha, we have to rise above them. So that's like the intro. That's going to be the intro. And I want to bring up something that this year in Rosh HaShanna, the first day is in Shabbat, right? So we don't have Tokei Shofar, we don't have the shofar. And every 30 days already from Rosh Chodesh Elul, I always am starting to daven that I should be zocheh to hear the shofar. Because I don't take it for granted. It's not always, it's like all these things 30 days before Megillah, I'm davening I can be able to hear the Megillah. But before Pesach, that 30 days, I started, okay, Hashem, let us be zocheh to have Leil Seder. You never know. And really, this morning I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, Hashem, thank you for giving me so many opportunities, really, to just be alive. Like, really, to just be alive. Thank you for all these opportunities. So I've been davening, and I realized, of course, though, that there is no shofar on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. We will have shofar on Sunday, but there's no shofar on Shabbat. And I remember the first year that I was a mother, the first year I was a mother, I'm saying a year after being a mother, like my son was a year and 4 months. It was the same thing where the first day was Shabbat, and the second day, somehow, I don't know what happened that day. My husband and I were trying to coordinate where he was going to take my son. I was going to go hear shofar. We kept missing each other. I'm looking for him. He's looking for me. So many things were happening. I didn't realize, like, I wasn't organized. I wasn't prepared. I didn't know, like, all the other times of the shofarot and that are happening all day long. And I actually missed that whole year. I missed because I didn't get Jon Shabbos. I didn't get in the second day. And I remember the sensation of feeling extremely sad and missing and lacking. And it was almost that my own weeping about it was the shofar itself. And it was a very powerful experience. And I remember going to the park and I saw a woman that I knew, and she told me, don't worry about it. She's like, the first day anyways, no one heard also. So I'll never forget that experience of that first Shabbos where I missed out on shofar. But here we are. And I learned my lesson, right? To check into seeing where all the times are of all the shofarot. You got to be prepared. But here we are about to enter into a Shabbos, Rosh Hashanah year. And I want to know why. Why can't we do the shofar? Like, what's it about Shabbat that we can't do the shofar? Because I was thinking, Brit Milah, if I have a Brit Milah, which is a mitzvah d'oraita, I can carry a sakin, I carry the knife, or the Moel will carry the knife. There's an eruv. We have an eruv. So what's the deal with shofar? And it's brought down in the Shabbat, in Masachet Shabbat, that's Aleph, right? And second page, it says that there are 38 malachot where you would say, okay, that's this creative act. Baking, building, writing. Nothing really changes physically, though, when it comes to this one malacha, which is Yitziyah. Like, I can't take something from one reshut, from one public domain, and put it into a private domain. I can't take a private domain and put it into a public domain. And yet it's got nothing to do with anything physical. It's about space, right? So why can't I take one object on Shabbat and just bring it to another object, like bring the same object somewhere else? So I was thinking about this, and I was reading what Rav Hirsch talks about it, and which is brought down in the Sefer of the Shabbat by Rav Dayan Grunfeld, right, where he brings in the idea of carrying is something that, like, you're basically saying that if I can carry from one domain to the other, it means that I'm a mastery over all social domains. Whereas on Shabbat, I'm relinquishing that Hashem is also in control of social situations. So that's interesting. Then also I was thinking about something also that I really want to go into, which is also this week's Parsha, Teizei milchama. Each of us is coming into this world with our own personal battles and trials and tribulations and tests and pikolach. And on Shabbat, I feel like it's saying that if I take what's mine and I bring it to somebody else, and I take somebody else's and bring it to a different domain, I'm not accepting that Hashem is in control of my domain. It's like saying, like, I have a test and I don't want my test. I'll take someone else's nisayon, but I don't want the one you gave me, Hashem. Or let me give it to somebody else. And on Shabbat, we are saying that, you know what? Your challenges and your circumstances and other people around you, they don't define you. They're part of your mission. It's very different. It's funny because Shabbat is just such an interesting, amazing experience. And it really is. Shabbat is an experience. On Shabbat, I have a technical situation where I know my little kids, they're going to want to eat lots of treats on Shabbat. So I'm always like, okay, I'll feed them first. Like it's like 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm already feeding them the schnitzel. And then I'm not worried about it. They don't have to eat at the Suda. Like they can just have the dessert. I'm not pressured about it. So I take them to the park with the schnitzel at 9 o'clock in the morning, schnitzel and ketchup. We're in the park and one of my children gets ketchup on her sweater. And I'm like, you can't wash it, just leave it. And then I look down and I see that also the ketchup was on my shirt, my white shirt. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, it's so interesting on Shabbat, you can't clean anything. You're not allowed to be in control of, I can get rid of this situation. I can get rid of my I can do something about my nisayon. I can get rid of my stain. On Shabbat, you're allowed to take off the clothing and get a new one, which is very interesting. But the stain stays there. It's almost like Hashem is saying, I want you to accept the situation that you're in. But wait a minute, aren't I supposed to improve on things? Like, isn't that the whole concept in Shabbat? What's Shabbat? The same letters as tshuva. But there's a certain element of tshuva of just accepting, I think, that this is from Hashem. Like if I return to Hashem, the point of tshuva is to shav Hashem. Then how am I returning to Hashem? By accepting that I can't do anything about the situation right now, Hashem. It's all you. You gave me this nisayon, you gave me this person, you gave me this challenge, you even gave me this thing that I made a mistake about. You gave it to me. And I'm going to first just sit with it a little bit. I could take it off because it doesn't define me. My identity isn't defined by my ketchup stains or anything else. But I can't get rid of it. That's only Hashem. Shabbat is only Hashem. So now let's talk about the shofar. What happens in the shofar? The shofar we know is a wake-up call, right? It's to wake us up from our shena, from our sleeping. The word shena is also related to the word shana, which I just find is so interesting. It's like we have this sleeping, and like every year we're given this opportunity by the shofar to wake up. Wake up and do what? Anoint Hashem the king. He's the melech. So it is an alarm clock, but it's also like a coronation. Hashem, you're the king. We're going to blow our trumpets. And what do we do to a king? That the concept of the king is I'm subjugating myself to you, Hashem. I'm bending over. It's like the shofar is bent over. It's saying I'm subjugating myself to your will. You're it, Hashem. So I thought that if on Shabbos we're basically saying that Hashem is the king or the Malka, she's the queen, and the state that I'm in, I can't change it. I can't cook something. I can't change it. Whatever food I have, this is what I have. I can't even select that I don't want this in my life. I have to only take the good, leave the bad, do it right away, and I have to do it even just with my hands, right? I'm not allowed to say in Shabbat that like I'm not accepting what you've given me. Or I'm going to fix it and change it. Because why? Shabbat is relinquishing that Hashem, you're the master of the world and you're in control. So what's the Teizei milchama? This woman, she's sitting there, and you're not allowed to, first of all, you have to wait. You're not allowed to approach her. A whole month. Patience. Then what? Also, she does not cut her nails. And she doesn't shave her head. So what are these two things that are brought down by our sages? These two things in our body. The eyes, I can't change the color of my eyes. Okay, you can put in context, but you can't change the color of the eyes. What you're born with, although I must tell you, when I wear green outfits, my eyes look green, and when I wear brown outfits, my eyes look brown. But they are the color they are, right? My nose, unless I'm doing some kind of surgery, my nose is my nose, right? Everything about me, it's not that it can actually change. When it comes to your hair, do you realize I have two children, they were born blonde. As they got older, they became brown. And one day it's going to be silver or gray, right? I was probably born with black, dark hair. Then it became lighter in the sun, brown. And then and then now it's getting gray. The hair changes. It's not permanent. And you cut it off all the time and it grows. The same thing with the nails. They're not permanent. They keep growing. You keep cutting them off. This woman symbolically is to teach us, those passions, those desires, and also your challenges and the things that are just so hard in your life. They're not permanent. Don't worry. It's okay. Just wait a little bit. Patience. We're so wanting to fix things right now. And sometimes the fixing is actually not doing and relinquishing that, Hashem is taking care of the situation. We're just going to wait and we're going to see. I'm going to do my status, but I'm going to wait and see. So we have to slow down. Brings this woman to teach us, right? And this milchama of battling, where I'm trying to battle, I'm trying to just go above it though. I want to go above the test that Hashem gives me, and I want to realize also Yosef HaTzadik was not thrown into the pit and then immediately became the king, the second to the king. He was thrown into a pit. He was in the jail for so many years. It was such a process. It was like having patience with your process is one of the most difficult things you can do. But that's also Shabbat l'shevet. Just sit with it. Have patience with it. And I'm going to tell you that also we think so often that someone will say something to us, right? And it will define us for a whole entire life. And we have to realize that nobody around us defines us and our missions. It's only Kadosh Baruch Hu. Every person that is put into your life is in order for you to be the best at the shlichut, at your mission that Hashem has given you. Not that they're giving you. So of course, I was talking to somebody and a person has a difficulty and you have all these organizations that open up, like this person went through this and then they open up this organization, this nonprofit, right? It all from people who something happens in their lives and they're taking that experience and then they're doing something with it. But it's actually the opposite. You have a mission and you have to flex a certain muscle in order to do that mission. And so therefore Hashem gives you the nisayon, not for you to make the bechir of what I'm doing with this actually, but for you to understand that this is the only way I will get to my mission, is by accepting this test and by going above it, right? So there's a famous, we read it on the Haftorah of Rosh HaShanna, of HaShanna and Penina, right? The famous story of HaShanna, which actually last week, I think it was last week, we went to Kever HaShanna. I think, or it was 2 weeks ago already, I don't even know. No, not Kever HaShanna, we went to Kever Shmuel, I'm sorry, but it reminds me of HaShanna. We went to Kever Shmuel, very special place to be, to connect to this boy who was called Shmuel. Is Hashem listened, like he's listening, right? And the shofar, what's so interesting, we have a mitzvah to listen to the shofar. We're listening to it. Shomea, we're understanding it. We're trying to gather what is the message of the shofar. So Chana comes, and this was not just like 1 year. Year after year after year after year. Chana does not have a child, and she's davening, she's coming to Shiloh. She's bitter, she's upset, she's angry, it's not fair. And she's davening year after year after year. Now, mind you, each year brings down the Midrash that they would go to Shiloh. Elkanan would go a different way, her husband. Why? Because his going to Shiloh was not about him. He wanted to influence all other kinds of people. So if I go the same route every single time, I'm only influencing that kind of person. But he's like, I want to go this way, and we're going to go take this road and this road. And he tells all the people, look, this is a great way we can get close to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Come to Shiloh. And he's trying to influence people. He's thinking about other people as he gets to where he needs to get to. Then 1 year, we know that Chana, I don't know what to call the co-wife, Penina. Elchanan has 2 wives. One's Chana who has no children, and Penina has many children. Penina she's like teasing, tormenting Chana. Now, the Mefarshim the commentaries bring down that the reason why she did this was because she wanted Chana to really daven. She was not doing this to be mean. She was doing it l'shem shamayim. However, she was punished for it because at the end of the day, the way you choose to do something is still in your responsibility, like it's under your control, your responsibility. So there's 2 issues going on. One is that Hashem is sending a messenger. Her name is Penina. Penina from Piniyut, something inside of me. Hashem is always, we think that person out there is them. No, it's actually Hashem sending the message for me internally to work on something. So Chana's confronted with this. And we're all confronted with the paninas of our life, the person who is like really hurting you, bothering you, upsetting you. You're trying so hard. And this one person, you don't understand, why is this such a challenge? Or not just a person, it's a situation, it's this. It's a bachur that I was talking to that he says, he enters into this huge base midrash. And everyone has a chavruta already said but him. And he's not finding the chavruta. And the person they keep setting him up with is not in his ramah, it's not in his level. And he's there, and it's this huge place, and everyone seems to have it so good. And here he is, and he's like feeling like he's the only one with that the chavruta not settled, and also he's feeling alone. And he's sitting in this bit, and it's the month of Elul, which is the month of excitement in yeshiva. And Hashem is not sending him the chavruta because the person in charge is not getting him the chavruta. I'm saying it's not happening because the person in charge is not finding the right chavruta. It's not happening because maybe he's not in the right place. It's happening because Hashem is on purpose. He has to fix something inside of himself, right? That I don't have, this person. Now take that concept of the chavruta to any area in our life where we feel like we're lacking, like Hashem, what's going on? Why does everyone around me have something that I don't have? And what Hashem is telling us is, wait a minute, are you in your reshut, or are you trying to go to a different reshut? Are you in your territory, or are you trying to go somebody else? Because if you're truly with me, if you're truly in a state of Shabbos, then you stay in your reshut, in your domain. You realize your Nisayon is perfectly tailored to you. And it's to teach you something. So that year, all of a sudden, Chana changes. But what was the switch? The switch was, Hashem, I'm actually not coming to daven for a child about myself. I'm coming to daven to have a child to serve you. She went inside herself that all of a sudden the mission was not just about me. There is a mission here in this world that I've come into this world to do. I'm in this world with a mission, and this person that is coming to torture me and torment me and make me feel bad, it's in order for me to rise above my mission, actually. And this time she came to Shiloh, and the zechut of Chana teaching us how to daven. How should a person approach HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Do we approach him, and how do we approach Chana? Everything is based, even though we have, Avram is Shachrit, Yitzchak is Mincha, Yaakov is Mariv. We have Chana, this woman who is coming to Hashem with this lacking from emes of the true emes there is Hashem. It's not about me. It's actually, I know I have a mission, and I'm embracing the mission. So tell me, why did you give me this body? Why did you give me these arms if it's not to cuddle a child? Why did you give me this? Everything she davened, it was like, why did you give me this? Because I know that this has purpose and mission. So this must mean that I'm not actualizing it. Help me to actualize my mission. And she was granted shmum. Right? It was seen that she actually had schar. Right? There was a reward here. So I think this is, I know, just like in my own personal, I will tell you, there's two incidents that I really, besides the catch up, I had two things happen in my life where I realized it's going to change me and define me. A couple things. I remember when I was 6 years old and I was in first grade, and I was told that I was slow reader, slow. And it really bothered me that this teacher was defining me this way. I've always been a very stubborn person, a very strong-willed person, and no one's going to call me slow. Now, mind you, I don't know why I had that strength in me, but I can just imagine if a 6-year-old child is going to be defined by 6 years old as you are slow, right? When in fact I ended up being the most, the highest, whatever, the best student in the whole entire grade. So it's just like these moments, though. And I remember also another time I've been defined by a lot of people as not being good at something. And I'm not saying that sometimes you have to realize, is this your mission or not your mission? It doesn't have to be good at everything. But am I letting someone else define if I'm good at something, or am I going to let HaKadosh Baruch Hu define it? Am I going to be given opportunities in this area? And maybe I'll get other teachers, or maybe I'll get other skills that will teach me something. Like, who's defining me if I'm good at something or not? Is it you, or is it Hashem? And a very powerful moment that happened to me was when, after a few years of not having a child, I remember one day, I will never forget this moment when I was davening mincha, and all of a sudden the realization came to me that, Hashem, if you want me to have a child, I will. And if you don't want me to, I won't. And it was the most powerful moment, and I could not believe that I was accepting Hashem's will. I was even more surprised at myself for being able to daven, and if I'm accepting you, whatever you want from me is what I will have. And actually, that's when I felt the biggest Yeshua in my life. The biggest salvation comes when you are just saying, Hashem, I'm totally accepting the situation. I've had that now over the years in chinuch. I've had that in parnasa. I've had it in a million areas, shalom bayit, and with people and situations, money situations, where when I can come to a point of saying, if you want me to have this, I will. And if you don't want me to have it, I won't. It opens up for me, not to say that I will get what I want, right? But it just opens up for me a Yeshua, that I realize it's okay. I don't have to be in control. I can take off the garment that's stained with ketchup, put on something else, and decide that this is not the right tafkid for me, because this is not the one Hashem wants me. Or I can keep the stain and just say, this is where I have to sit right now with this. This is it. Hashem, this is what you want from me. So I was looking at the Sfat Emet, actually in Breshit, and which ties into this. Why? Because the Sfat Emet brings down that there's 6 days of the week, right? And on the 7th day, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, everything returns back to Hashem. A person cannot go outside of their place, right, on Shabbos. And it says, "B'Shabbat kol ha'dvorim mitalim u'naseh echad miyuchad liyot kli l'Hashem yitbarach lasot behem keratzono." On Shabbos, everything goes back to being a vessel that is in order to do Hashem's ratzon. That's what Shabbos is, a kli. Shabbat halmaka. She's the queen. She's the kli. She's the kala. She's the bride. And Shabbat, v'yuchulu hashamayim, v'yuchulu is also coming from the same shorish as this idea of being a kli. That everything was finished, all of a sudden comes Shabbos, and Shabbos becomes this kli that is just accepting Ratzon Hashem. Everything will go back to its place when you are just accepting Hashem's Ratzon. So it's interesting because also when Hannah got to this point of just like, I want this for you, Hashem, she was davening from such a place of emes, right? And in this week's Parsha, it also talks about a very short sentence, but it's mentioned before in the Torah that it's very specifically singled out that there is 3 people that you have to be very careful in your mishpat: the ger, the convert, yatom, the orphan, and also you're not allowed to take overnight the clothing of a almana, of a widow. There are 3 people. Why? And it has to do with judgment. Mishpat. Lo tate mishpat ger yatom velo tachvor beged almana. So who are these 3 people? These are 3 people that don't have anybody. The ger has no family. They know they only have a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And obviously this is representative of all of us. These 3 people are representative. Yitom doesn't have a parent. They only have Hashem. And the almana doesn't have her spouse. She only has Hashem. So that person, you must know, don't judge them. Because when it comes to being judged, Hashem will listen to them and not you. Why? Because they are coming to a place of emes where they know it's all you. It's all you, Hashem. And on Rosh HaShanna, here we are, Rosh HaShanna with our tefillot, because we're not going to have the shofar on Shabbat. We're going to have Shabbat itself, and a person can come to Hashem and say, Hashem, I'm in Shabbos right now. I'm totally accepting the mission that you are giving me, and I will rise above it. I will be great at it, in fact. I will be incredible, right? I'm rising. I'm going to come and I will do my mission. And we dive into Hashem and we say, let this year be one where you're giving me every single thing that I need for my mission. This is we're diving for, and we're not actually specifically on Rosh HaShanna, you don't specifically say, I need this and this and this, but we're diving for, we know we want to be written in a book of life. We're asking for life. What kind of life? A spiritual life, a physical life. We know that all the parnas of the whole entire year is decreed on Rosh HaShanna. You know that if you're how your health is decreed on Rosh HaShanna. Everything's decreed on Rosh HaShanna. You're standing before Kadosh Baruch Hu. And this year we're zoche to be in the state of Shabbos. We don't have shofar, we have Shabbos. Mind you, we have a shofar on the second day, B'ezras Hashem, but we don't. But on the first day, it's coming from this place of emes. It should just be coming from a place of emes, from real truth, where you're saying, Hashem, it's just you. So, and also in the pasuk in Kuf Yod Chet of Tilim, it says, Mina mitzal karati ya aneni v'rechava ya. Right? We know that the Arya brings down, that this is actually talking about the shofar, but from min hatzal, from this small, narrow place, betzal also, from the suffering, but from this narrow place, karatiya, Hashem, I'm calling out to you, and you answered me like widely, right? It became, so what is this? This is the shofar. When you do Tukei shofar, you're blowing from the smallest place, you're calling out to Kadosh Baruch Hu, from the place of you that just truly emes. It's a place where you feel also so small, where you're feeling like, I can't fix things, I can't clean things, I have nothing but you, Hashem, to take care of this for me. And we are so humbled by the things that we cannot control, and we try, and we try, and we try, and we can't. But from that place of emes is where Hashem listens to us, and he widens it for us. And it's brought down also in L'Kutei Moharan that it's brought down that what's this concept of emes? It's Yaakov, right? It's Yaakov, and in Masechet Rosh HaShanna it says Kol mi she'en. Okay, I'm going to get to that one second. It's Yaakov, who's the third Av, right? And also all the things in Rosh HaShanna, how you're blowing it, it's a set of threes. There's something about Yaakov. Why Yaakov? Because Yaakov is emes. The person who really calls out to Kadosh Baruch Hu from the depths of their soul and the depths of also their tsar, but not again as Hannah davened every single year in bitterness and suffering, but it was about herself. Then all of a sudden she comes with that suffering and she expands it and she says, Hashem, I'm here, it's my mission, but tell me, what is this body for if not to serve you? Give me a child to serve you. And it says that kol mi she'eno mechuyav b'devar, right? Eno motzi et devarim yedei chova. This is a Masechet Rosh HaShanna, Daf Chavtet. Meaning what? A person who's not obligated in something, I cannot obligate. I cannot then be yotze for you. I can't like fulfill your requirement if I'm not required in the same thing. So why would that be? Because only the person who is required is coming from a place of also endless. I must do this, so then therefore I can also do it for you. But if I don't feel like I'm required, I will not truly do something. I can't yotze you because I'm not myself really chayav. A person has to come to Rosh Hashanah and really feel like I am obligated to who? To HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm here, Hashem. It's only you. We should be zochei, from the depths of our, from the depths of everything, from the depths of our souls, to really, and be able to connect and understand that I can rise above this. The reason why Hashem, you gave me this challenge is because it's perfectly tailored to me. I can rise above it, and not only am I going to rise above it, but like it's how I'm getting to my shlichut in this world. Right? It's how I'm getting to my mission. It's not that my mission will be created because of the test that I went through. It's that because I have a mission, Hashem will flex my muscles and give me some tests that I have to get through. But I can't. I just have to ride above them. But I have to have a little bit of patience, realize that things are very temporary, like the nails and the hair. That also my tsar is temporary. I just have to get over it. I have to be patient with it. And I have to also live for me. It's like, I know it sounds like captivity, but the shevet, also the shvi, is also sometimes you just have to sit with it. Be patient with it and watch how Hashem can take care of it. So here we are, B'ezrat Hashem, getting ready for Rosh Hashanah, getting ready for Shabbos. We should be zochei to be written and sealed in the book of life, book of tov, of connection, of simcha.